What is up, everybody out there? Hope you guys are doing all right. This is Artist of Strong Style, and I got another deck profile for you guys. Now this one, okay, it's a zombie deck. Now with zombie decks, you're always going to want to play Zombie World, right? How I made this, you are not going to need Zombie World. Even if it is a zombie deck, you do not need Zombie World. The other thing, how I made this, all zombie decks, you're going to want to play Unizombie, right? One of the top main tuner cards and possibly one of the best zombies to play in a deck. How I made this and how I started trying this out, I do not need Unizombie Awesome. So you're playing a deck where you do not need Zombie World and you do not need Unizombie. Because yeah, I started playing this, I just don't need it. Because also, I don't depend a lot on playing from the extra deck. But no doubt, yes, you're going to want to play an extra deck. So this zombie deck, a friend told me, why not try this out? Because I never really tried this zombie deck before. So he told me, try it out because it is so messed up. As in, it can really mess up your opponent. Or I would say screw your opponent. So this is how it is. The King of Skull Servants. This zombie deck, is particularly based on the King of Skull Servants is your main boss monster. So, yeah, it's completely way different. So, King of Skull Servants, we'll go with. So, yeah, 3 King of Skull Servants. What it is that the original attack is by how many of Skull Servants or your other monsters that are called Skull Servants in the graveyard times 1,000. So what you want to do is get all your Skull Servants or what is not called Skull Servants that are going to be thrown in there that are going to be called Skull Servants when they're in the graveyard of the zombies. Now, okay, you want to go as fast as you can to get these in the graveyard. So what are some good cards to help you get them fast and put it in the graveyard? So my best way, go with the Lightsworn engine. Go a bit with Lightsworn. Now with Lightsworn, you're going to want to have more than possibly 40 cards, maybe about 50 cards, because you don't want to deck out. So King of Skull Servants, imagine just this. It's just a little attack, but if you're going against a huge monster, it's like 4,000 attacker. But if you have like 7 different kinds, 7 of these Skull Servants in your graveyard, it's a 7,000 attacker. Just huge. Just this little 1 star. It's going to gain up to maybe it's an 8,000 attacker. It's a 9,000 attacker. My first time trying this out, it was a 10,000 attacker. Just 10,000. Just this little level 1 monster. It was 10,000 attack. Crazy. So, yeah, that's all it is. King of Skull Servants is just totally messed up. Of course, yeah, when it came down to just the original Skull Servants, from the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh!, this was considered one of the zombie decks. Just the zombie deck is the Skull Servants. So yeah, Skull Servants of the normal you're going to need. Because yeah, you want to get this in your graveyard. Hopefully you don't get it in your hand. Then, you're going to go with the White Prince. So these are the white cards, even though it's not white, but that's what they're called. White Prince. It's a zombie. Effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 Skull Servant and the Lady of White in your hand or deck to the graveyard. You can banish 2 Skull Servants. End this card from your graveyard. Special summon 1 King of Skull Servants from your deck. From your deck. Just instantly bring 1 out. That's what you need to do. Bring 1 out. This card names Skull Servant in the graveyard. So yeah, these are going to be called Skull Servants when it is in the graveyard. Not right now when it's on the field. Crazy, huh? Just bring 1 out. Then your White Princess Well, it looks white now because it's a skeleton. That's why it's called white. Nah, but it's a princess. White princess. Zombie effect. It becomes Skull Servant while it is in the graveyard. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send one. All right, then let's see. If this card is no more special summon, you can send one white prince from your deck to the graveyard. During either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. All monsters currently on the field lose attack and defense equal to their own level and ranked times 300 until the end of the turn. That's already gonna possibly put an opponent's monster from like a 3,000 to 0. That's what these cards intend to do. They help you as well. Send cards away. So it's like you're doubling. It's like 2 times in a row you are sending away these cards to the graveyard. That's what you want to do. And of course, yeah, zombie decks, you're going to want your zombies in the graveyard. So this is a different kind of zombies, except this one, it depends on the King of Skull Servants. These are cards to help you as well. Not just when, I'm going to show you the Lights One engine I have in here. So not just your Lights Ones of discarding, since that's what Lights Ones do, discard, but also the effects of these prints, what these zombies do as well. Now you got the White Mare. While this card is in your graveyard, this card is treated as Skull Servant. So yeah, these cards, when they're in the graveyard, they're going to be called the Skull Servant. So these work. You can discard this card to activate one of the following effects. 1. Select one of your remove from play Skull Servant or White Mare and return it to the graveyard. So if it's going to be removed by the effect of the Prince, I believe that's the way, or the one that's going to let you remove one, and you're going to, any type of zombie you're going to possibly have to remove, you can bring one back. As long as it's a Skull Servant or a White Mare, return it to the graveyard. So that's 1. 2. Select one of your remove from play Lady of White or King of Skull Servants, special summon it. There are times you're going to remove this or remove any of the others and just bring it right back. There are ways of bringing these cards right back. One of the best ones is White Baking. And I'm using 3 of each of these because you're going to want to play, since I'm playing this, you're going to want to go 3, 3, 3, 3. So everything's by 3. White Baking. This card becomes Skull Servant while it's in the graveyard. So they're all called Skull Servants. If a level 3 or lower zombie monsters you control will be destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can discard this card instead. Now when you discard this card, if it is sent to the graveyard, which you are going to do, you can add 2 monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except itself. That either are Skull Servant or mentioned it. Then discard 1 card. Once per turn. Just get a King Skull Servant and any other, discard 1 of them. But that's your helper again to get King of Skull Servants. And then the Lady in White. Face up level 3 or lower monsters on the field, except the Lady in White. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, they are unaffected by spell trap cards effects. This card becomes Skull Servant. So yeah, these cards in the graveyard, they're all going to become Skull Servants. So with these many in the graveyard and your King of Skull Servants, that's how much the attack's going to be. And yeah, when it's on the field, just a 22 defensive, cannot be destroyed by battle. And they're unaffected by, so it's just immortal on the field. Even if your opponent wanted a Raigeki, it still stays because it's unaffected by trap cards. If your opponent played Link monsters that are going to be, like the Nightmare Phoenix, I'm going to discard 1, destroy a card in the field. Fine, you could try to kill Lady in White, but it does nothing because Lady of White stays on the field. So that could be like, your helper right there. Have a defense. Have a defense until you have your play of what you're going to want to do, which is, yeah, King of Skull Servants. So, yeah, I'm going to Compulse. No, it stays on the field. I'm going to Torrential. Stays on the field. You can hit anything else, but you cannot hit the lady in white. And yeah, counts also as King of Skull Servant. And then what is not is zombie. What I have as a zombie also, but it is not a card for King of Skull Servants. Of course, always yes, in any kind of zombie deck, you're going to go with your Mizuki. Your helper also, remove from play. Get one in the graveyard. Right back. So yeah, Mizuki, not Gozuki. Gozuki I don't really like as much. Now what's not... Okay, now we'll go with the Lightsworn engine. Two Lumina. Two Raiden. Two Wolf. One Lila. And out of the Lightsworns, Lila's my favorite one out of all. A Felice. And Minerva. My only Lightsworns. No Aaron. No Jane. No Garroth. And yeah, only two Lumina, not three. Two Raiden, two Wolf. I could go one Wolf, or play three, whatever. One or two or three Lila, but remember, you gotta be easy on what you're gonna be playing. You never want to have Wolf in your hand because it's just gonna be useless. And yeah, my only Lightsworns. Because yeah, I'm gonna need some help discarding this. Discarding. What's also in the monster? What other monsters I'm doing in here that's going to help me is if you're playing Adegale, Kelbic, Madura, and the Keldo. Now remember, these cards went to 1. When they were at 3, that's because of the Telemandrids. They were going broken as hell. Adegale, when it's sent to the graveyard, discard the top 5 cards. Kalbak, sent to the graveyard, discard the top 5 cards. Madura and Keldo are, when sent to the graveyard, choose 3 cards in your graveyard, send it right back. So yeah, a helper also. Send away, send away, send away, send away. Keep on discarding until you can have a lot of monsters in the graveyard. And hopefully those are monsters that are pretty much Skull Servants. Or you have the King Skull Servant, but then yeah, you have your way of bringing it right back because maybe you had a Mizuki in there, or the way of special summoning them. So those are for the monsters. Let's go with the spell cards now. Yeah, a lot of monsters, but in a zombie deck, you're gonna want to have a lot of zombies in there. All right, so this is for your Lightsworn. Charge the Light Brigade, send the top 3 cards, then add 1 level 4 or lower Lightsworn. So yeah, this is the helper. Send away Lightsworns. If you do have Lightsworns in your hand, so yeah, pretty much the package of using a Lightsworn deck, Solar Recharge, and Charge the Light Brigade. So yeah, your helpers to draw, and hopefully what you get, or yeah, discarding is what you're gonna want to do. 1 Foolish Burial, since you're allowed 1. And then yeah, send away a Mizuki, send away your even your Caleb, any of these, send it away as well. Discard top 5 cards, whichever. So yeah, all these cards are going to be helpful to send away cards. That's what you're going to want to do. Send away, send away, send away. That's all you're going to want to do. Send away. So possibly when you have so many, and then you have your way of you have it in your hand, King of Skull Servants, and you have, I don't know, that huge a lot of Skull Servants. Your Skull Servant, King of Skull Servant, is going to be a one huge attack of a monster. And then just Book of Moon. Why not have it out? Book of Moon. You can go Raigeki, you can go, Harpy's Feather Duster, whatever it's going to be. And then just for traps is Compulse. That's it. So that's it. The whole deck depends on your King of Skull Servants. Just as level 1 monster. It's a question mark attack. But again, with that many in the deck, look how powerful that deck. It's overpowering an Egyptian god card. Obelisk is a 4,000, but if you can make King of Skulls like a 7,000, it can kill Obelisk. Obelisk, yeah, unaffected by those cards, but it can be killed by battle. Those huge, like, okay, we know the new deck of the Red Eyes deck. Their one huge Supernova is a 4,000 attack, but it can kill that monster as well. Quasar Dragon is a 4,000 attack. It can swipe and kill a Quasar Dragon. Just simple. It's just simple. So, okay, if you're going to play an extra deck, which I do, but I'm not going to pend a lot about it. Okay. Immortal Dragon. Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon. Michael, the Arch Lightsworn. One Black Rose Dragon. Dragon Felgrand. Those are for you know, your synchro, and then just for so yeah, anything for Link would be Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, IP Masquerena, Appaloosa, Skulldread, Borlord Dragon, and then for your ones, of course, the Linkuriboh and Relinquished Anima. Now, sometimes what I would do, even if you have Skull Servant, blow up the entire field. Yeah, you wasted your Skull Servant, right? No. What you possibly wanted to do first was blow up the entire field. So when it came down to wiping out the backfield, and those cards would be possibly for King of Skull Servants to be killed. Well, then when you have your Mizuki in your graveyard, it's a little trick combo. So yeah, blow up the entire field. And if you had a King of Skull Servants, blow up the entire field, right? Okay. They're going to say you wasted it. No, I did not waste it. Remove from play. Special summon. I brought it right back. Now I don't have to deal with your backfield, which possibly would have killed my King of Skull Servants. But first, let's just go with my... Yeah. Destroy the whole entire field. You got nothing. Straight through attack. And if King of Skull Servants was like, what, a 10,000 attacker? You just wiped out your opponent, OTK'd. One turn kill. Or just that straight through attack. That's it, game. So sometimes don't really think it is. Or yeah, one. Another thing, okay. They had one monster, right? I'll take it. Okay, I got rid of it. No. Remove it. Special. You sucked up their one monster that they had. They only have one monster. You sucked it up straight through. Simple little things you gotta like think on. Why did I really mess up and got rid of my King of Skull Servants? No. Anything you make, rather if you wanted to make Appaloosa, Masquerena, any of those, and you used it for your King of Skull Servants, just think really. You still have your ways of bringing the Skull Servants out, even if you got rid of it. Your opponent's always gonna think you got rid of your monster. Yeah, I did, but I'll just bring it right back. So did I really mess it up? Shit, no. Hey, it's your fault. That's what you thought, but no. I have my ways of bringing it right back, even if you got rid of it. Check your opponent. You just wasted your King of Skull Servant. It's dead. Yeah, but the dead can return, right? Bring it out. The dead has returned. So yeah, he told me to try this deck. But then, of course, you know, decks try to make it your own way. So I try to make it a way where I'm not using Zombie World because I don't need it. And then, yeah, there's always a whole bunch of ways I can bring this out where I could use it. It's not going to be it's not dead to me. Or, you know, it's a bad hand you got. The only reason why it's going to be a bad hand is if you do not have any cards already for that one turn that's going to help you a bit. So if you have no Lightsworn yet, or, you know, I don't know, sometimes it could be a bad hand because you cannot start off your play with anything, you know, with sending cards away, no matter what it is. Sometimes that could just be a bad hand, like, dang it, bad hand. So no, you got nothing. But there are ways I've played this without using Unizombie as well. So yeah, there is an extra deck. There are just 2 tuners, which is just 3, Raiden and Minerva. But I don't really pay attention a lot to the extra deck. If I need to use an extra deck, I will use an extra deck. So yeah, my friend told me, try King of Skull Servants. I've tried it, and I have ways of bringing it right back, even if it's dead. Like a little combo right there, what I showed you. So, I'll be showing more combos on my next video. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. And just to let you know, always, there are ways of bringing back the dead. Speak to y'all later. Peace.